Beyond the Mic with Sean Dillon.
We're joined on the Starline by a Broadway star. You've seen her on A Chorus Line, West Side Story, Cats, Aladdin, Broadway's Rising Stars, and the world premiere of On Your Feet in Espanol, Semifinalist for Lavos. And you probably heard her singing around the world on Norwegian and Regent cruise lines. Right now, she's on the national tour, portraying Gloria Estefan in On Your Feet. We welcome the talented Gaby Albo.
Hola, Sean.
Hola, Gaby. Let's go beyond the mic. Say someone has never heard of On Your Feet. How do you describe it?
The first thing I say, it's the story of Emilio and Gloria Estefan. If people don't know who they are, I'm like, come shake your body, baby, do that conga. And now they're like, oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. So it's basically their story. I like the show because it's about, of course, their artistic journey, their artistic challenges, on how they became this huge, one of the most important people in the business representing Latin American culture. But also, what I love of this show is that it touches on a lot of their personal challenges as well. Challenges that anybody, whatever you do, can relate to. And in the end, it has, this is not a spoiler, but it has like this motivational ending, I guess. It has like this underline of love, support, like what the power of love. I know it can sound cheesy, but for me, like that's the main core of the show.
You did training at the American Musical and Dramatic Academy. How did that prepare you for today? And what's your best memory there from your best friend, Luigi?
I'm Luigi. Actually, yes, I'm born and raised in Mexico, but I had the privilege, the opportunity to go to New York, and I studied at AMDA. And I think that opened a lot of doors for me. Like it just showed me how the business works in the United States and how different it is from Mexico. For instance, in Mexico, we have like 1, 2, 3 productions a year, like big productions. In New York, you can have 3 auditions per day, like that's the huge difference. They taught me how to even present myself, how to do my audition cuts, how to do my headshots, resumes, like everything. I think it just opened a whole new world for me. And Luigi actually likes Connect in Nuevo Continente. Nuevo Continente was I know you have like a different school method there, but we have like after primary school, like high school, like our high school. And that's where I met him. And we started doing the theater stuff together, like little not professional things. And then we found each other in Cats. And then we found each other again in Aladdin, and we actually got to play Jasmine in Aladdin for a put-in, and it was beautiful.
Speaking of a whole new world, a couple of years ago, you were in Aladdin as the understudy for Jasmine and in the ensemble, now playing Gloria Estefan. How did Aladdin help prepare you for such a challenging role in On Your Feet?
And I've just called out like 3 times. I don't know how I've been able to do it. But yes, it's very, like the energy is very different. Actually, in Aladdin, I was more ensemble, and that taught me a lot. Like that show was really a lot of energy as well. Friend Like Me, like the big tap number. It's just, but with Gloria, I'm the center of attention the whole time. Like the show's about 2 hours and a half, and 2 hours and 25 minutes I'm on stage. And most of the time I have to be performing. So it's a lot of energy, of give and take. Sometimes the audience is better than others, so it just requires so much energy. Like it's draining, but also comforting. That's not the word, right? Like fulfilling as well. Yeah.
What's the easiest and hardest thing about Samuel Garnica, who plays Emilio in On Your Feet?
I love that you asked that. I have to confess, and I confessed it in another interview before, and he knows it, it's not a secret, but in the beginning, we did the Spanish version first, and I didn't like him. It was so hard for me to play that I was in love with this guy, that I was like, he's not a bad guy at all. He's an angel, but I don't know, there was something about him that I was like just rejecting. So in the beginning, it was such a challenge. And we have like kissing scenes and everything. So I was like, why? No, now, and everybody that sees the show, like I haven't met anybody that says that we don't have like a palpable chemistry. Like we just love each other so much. We know it's like a real life relationship. Like we see each other, we look into each other's eyes, and we know what's going to happen and what he's thinking, what I'm thinking, where we're going to move. If something is like off on stage, like we know how we're going to fix it. It's just too much of a connection.
Gaby Albo from On Your Feet joins us beyond the mic, and it's time for the Rocky Nade. Gaby, all this is 8 random questions. Answer with the first thing that comes to your mind. There is no pressure.
Woohoo! Okay, I'm nervous.
Favorite flavor from your ice cream on a roll business?
Oh my God, Ferrero with strawberry.
Most underrated place in Mexico City?
Oh, Xochimilco.
What is that?
Xochimilco is like a river, but they created ancient people just found out how to create like an island where they can harvest things in the middle of the river. So now the touristy part of it, like you go and they create like this kind of boat, but it's just made of wood. And then you have mariachi playing in another boat next to you if you want, or you can buy food in another boat, or you can just party and buy your like beers and travel the river with that. It's really beautiful. When you were a kid, were you ever frightened about a monster under the bed? And did you name him? Are you kidding? Still, sometimes really? I cannot sleep. But it didn't have a name though. Yeah. It was sometimes an old lady or sometimes a dead girl. I don't know. Different shapes. You've been known to hit a high note while doing a cartwheel. So if you ever were selected to go on Dancing with the Stars, who would you want as your partner? Oh, probably, oh my God, Ralphie Rivera, who is in my show. He is the most amazing dancer and person I know. Last gift you bought your mom? Her a ticket to see me in a show. We haven't decided the city yet, but that's going to be her Christmas gift. You used to do Disney karaoke, so what's the best Disney song ever? I have to say Zero to Hero. Like there's no miss. You can be in any mood and that's going to make you happy. Best soccer match you ever saw live? I didn't see it live, but I saw it with my dad. It was the final of the Worlds. What was it? Argentina with Messi? It was crazy. I remember we got to the restaurant and it was about to be done and we were like, oh, it's just done. And then they matched and so they had to do that thing at the end that I don't know how you called it. Penalty kicks. It was crazy. We were screaming in the restaurant. Which role is your dream Broadway role? Now, one of the moments is Ann Boleyn from 6. I would love to do 6. Any of the queens, actually. Aragon would be amazing, too. It's time for the back half with Gaby Albo from On Your Feet Beyond the Mic. Gaby, what's the highest note you've ever held while cartwheeling? I haven't tried many, but I guess, I don't know what note is the one that you saw. You did your homework, but I guess that was it. How about the first Broadway show you ever saw live? You know what? I was not a theater kid. Really? So, no, not at all. I was really shy. I was never going to end up doing this. Life surprised me. But I guess it was Chicago. Like one of the first ones that they taught me, Chicago or Phantom. You start like watching the movies in the theater. It's all about the people who help us on the way up. Which teacher helped you the most? I mean, the one who mentored you for this career and made you the star you are today. I'm thankful with many people, of course, on the road. But I really remember deeply Eileen Petrikoff. It's a teacher from AMDA, one of those teachers that makes a difference for sure. According to your phone, you could be 95% better. Who has helped push you along this path of success? That my parents, for sure. Like, I think that having your parents' support makes a whole world of a difference. I remember being with my dad, and I think I was like in a bad mood. Like, we were deciding what I was going to study, like university, like what university I was going to go to. And I was like, and he was like, check this one. And I was like fed up. And I was like, Dad, let's just close it. I'm going to be a singer. And he said, like, okay, go and be the best. It's amazing when you have the support of loved ones who say, you have this dream, go do it. Yes, I always tell him that he's like my frustrated manager. He's always like, let's go meet this friend, like the daughter of this friend, because she is in the show business and you never know what door is going to open on that, that road. They always come to see my performances and that fills my heart. There's a lot of stigma around this career. A lot of people or parents might say like, no, be a doctor, be a lawyer, like work on something that's going to make you make money. And they push me on the path of go and pursue what's going to make you happy. So I think that made a difference. Gaby Albo from On Your Feet joins us beyond the mic. Gaby, why is it important sharing the Latin heritages and the power of Gloria's story with others? I guess the world is so divided still. Like some people don't see it, but I think it's important to share our essence, our colors, our sounds, our moves. We go to these random places where there's not Aladdin soul in the audience. And then in the end, see them be part of your world is so fulfilling. I think we're making a difference telling our stories, because it's not just the story of Emilia and Gloria Estefan. I think it's the story of a lot of us that are in the show and that are not in the show that just live that kind of life, you know?
I want to know what happened. How did you almost get stuck in Dubai?
Oh my God. How do you know all of this? I was in a cruise. I love traveling, and I was in a cruise with my girlfriend. And then suddenly we started seeing like these people with masks, and you have a very limited communication with your family. But then I get a text from my dad like, hey, is everything okay over there? Have you heard anything? And I'm like, what? I'm on a boat. I'm on a ship. What are you talking about? And then, yes, the day I was going to fly back, the airport, like there was people feel like everybody had masks. And I was like, oh my God, they're exaggerating. What is this? And then like 2 days after or something, like when I got back to Mexico, they closed the frontiers.
They closed the border on you.
At the border. Yeah, the border.
Now, since you've been around the world cruising, where is the best place to cruise or the best port?
It is not a cruise, but the most beautiful place I know, it's here in Mexico. It's hidden, a hidden jewel. It's called Tolantongo. And it's these, how do you call them? Like warm water, warm natural water, but they're clear and they're in the middle of a mountain. So they're like little ponds that they made. And so you have the view to the mountain. And then if you walk and you know the tricks, you can go in the mountain and there's like this cave filled with like water. So it's like a steam room, like a natural steam room. And it's so dark and beautiful. And then you go to the other side and there's like a cave, like a cenote. I don't know if you've heard of a cenote. They're usually cold, but this one's warm with a waterfall in the middle. It's just beautiful. You should Google it.
One question I always ask Broadway stars when they come on is, where were they when they got the job? And the story of the person that he told first. I mean, who was that person?
I had always been frustrated because I thought that I was almost Maria. Like I was always the alternate, always the understudy. I was there, but I had never gotten my chance. So it was like 2 times I got Gloria. The first one was the Spanish version. And in that one, I'm going to tell you a story really fast. I was doing Aladdin in Mexico. And I was here with my dad on my day off watching Netflix. And I see this guy on the television. And I'm like, oh my God, he looks just like Luis Salgado. And Luis Salgado is the choreographer and director of the show. And I took a workshop with him like 10 years ago. And we haven't talked or anything. But he was so alike that I was like, I have to send him a picture. He's just so alike. And I was about to do it. And I was like, no, he's going to think it's so weird and random. Like this girl sending me pictures. So I didn't. And 2 days after, he texted me saying, Gaby, I've been thinking about you because we're casting the show. Didn't know what show, didn't know what role. Would you like to send your material over? And I was like, okay. I just sent it. And then he's like, okay, the people like you. So would you be willing to leave everything in Mexico and come here to be here in the United States in a month? And I did. I left this huge production of Aladdin, the biggest production in Mexico that was supposed to run for 2 years, for a 2-month contract in a real theater in DC to do the Spanish version of On Your Feet. And I do not regret it. I remember when I saw that email, you got Gloria Estefan. I just remember looking at the letters and be like, it's here. The moment has arrived, the moment I've been praying for. And then, oh my God, I'm not gonna get into details, but it was I had a loving drama in that contract, and it was so short that I had very turbulent, very confusing feelings throughout the run. So I was feeling guilty of not being able to deeply enjoy that moment that I was hoping for. And so when I got the call I'd still auditioned for the national tour of On Your Feet, but I had just come out of this a chaotic time. And when I got the call, they told me in the moment, this was my last callback, and it was a Zoom thing. And they're like, okay, Gaby, what are your plans for this next year? And I was like, I might like to give it a try in the United States. So I'm going to try to apply for the working visa. So I'm figuring that out. And they said, okay, just make sure you make time in your calendar for the national tour of On Your Feet because you're going to be playing Gloria. And I just had like this face, like, I don't know. I was like in a state of shock. Like I was not excited as I thought I would be. Like I was just like a very weird that I would never expect to have, like just plain, like nothing, like dead. And then it took me some months actually to understand what I was going to go through and what I was about to live and what I had just gotten at, that it was like the result of so many years of hard work. I don't know. It was just, it was like, that's funny that you asked that because it's such a, like a random answer. I'm sure like not the one that you would have expected, but that was it.
So who was the first person you told?
I told my mom because Luis Salgado was like very spiritual, very like, I don't know, like very out there. And he's like, go tell your mom. And I run out because one of the part of the auditions was like, what song would you sing to somebody you love? And I was like, what? Like, I will always love you to my mom. And I started like singing that and I started crying. It was chaos. And then he's like, go tell your mom. And I was like, okay. And I'm running up and I'm like, Mom. She's like, I'm taking a shower.
Don't interrupt mom in the shower.
It was just weird. But now I'm so thankful that I went through all of that. It was part of the whole experience. And I'm loving this part of the, of course, in tour life, like it's hard. Like you have ups and downs and everything, you know, like such is life. But now I'm in a really good place. I'm enjoying and I'm thankful that I'm able to physically, mentally, energy-wise be able to tell the story that I think is worth telling and being able to enjoy it and to get to know these beautiful places. And I love the people that are in the show. So I'm in a good place right now. I'm excited to go back. We're going to go back in a couple of days.
The power of family, friends, and a significant other is important when on the road for months on end. Who gives you support when you're down?
I think my family, for sure. Like, they're always there. I have some friends. Like, if I'm going through rough times, I'm like, Zoom, like, urgent Zoom call. And, like, they're there for me. So that's cool. And also, like, people on the road, because there's nobody to understand better than the people that are traveling with you, you know, that are going through the same things.
Now, what's the one thing you always bring on tour? There's always that one thing, whether it be a pillow, a book, something that reminds you of home.
It's actually a new discovery, but it was the best purchase I've done in years. And it was like an electronic pan. It heats up super fast. And when I went to the store and I saw it, I was like, no, this is never going to work for me. This is too big. Oh my God, no, it's the best thing. I've done pasta, quesadillas, makes everything so fast. And it's like the best purchase. It helps me have breakfast in my room. It's beautiful.
So what's the one thing you love to cook?
I actually don't like cooking, but I have to do it on the road. And we love these new buffalo wings, but they're meatless wings because I'm not eating meat. So we discovered this brand and it was beautiful. And I've just found it once. And it was amazing.
Gaby, why should people watch On Your Feet?
Because, first of all, and the obvious answer is they're going to have fun. Of course, they're going to go through a journey of all these hits of the Miami Sound Machine that are going to make you get on your feet and dance and everything. But I think what people don't expect is to feel deeply touched in the end and motivated. And also to give themselves an opportunity to learn of a new culture, to see ourselves as humans that we are, just with our different colors, and embrace them as well and have fun with them and cry and laugh and sing with them. I think they're not ready to see what they're going to see, you know? Like, people expect just to dance conga and that's it. It's just a little part of it.
It's time for one big question with Gaby Albo from On Your Feet Beyond the Mic. As you tour around the United States, how has the reaction by audiences to the show changed you?
Oh, there have been so many shows that I just like end up crying because I'm so moved. In Coming Out of the Dark, I usually pick one person to sing it to, and I feel that I'm healing them or like freeing them from whatever they're going through. And I found some people that I see crying on stage, or I see people that are going through maybe something that what I'm portraying on stage. And for example, people in not wheelchairs, but like the ones that are not able to move at all, and see how them in that moment of the show. Oh, that is just so powerful to me. Like, they don't imagine, they have no idea of what they give to us Like it makes everything so worth emotions that we go through. Like it's just worth it to see that the way it impacts them.
What do you see in the future for you on Broadway?
I feel ready. I feel prepared. I feel that now this was like a very big and strong first step for me in the States. So I found an agent, and I'm confident that they're gonna like open doors for me. I actually got really far in the 6 auditions, so I'm hoping that comes maybe as a surprise this year. It would be amazing. And I don't know, like, it's not like a normal performer that I'm like, I really want to be on Broadway. And because no, I just want to be enjoying, happy with what I do, wherever that takes me. And I hope that every cast that I'm with, like, it feels like a family and that I feel fulfilled with whatever I do. And that because through performing, I feel that I share my essence with the world. Like, I feel that that's the I can be and share myself. So I just want to enjoy what I do and have a good impact in people that see it or that have contact with that directly or indirectly.
Who is the one person you're closest with on the show? And you can't say Samuel.
I actually have 2 really good friends.
Because, I saw you do the 3 Amigos dance with your 2 castmates.
You got to the right video, actually, because those are my 2 best friends on tour. They play my mother and my sister. She actually, the one that plays my mother, Kitty, used to be an ensemble member, and now she plays my mom. And Emma, like, she just came to Mexico to visit. So it's cool to see how a show can build stronger relationships and get to needed to share your country with other people, just create bonds aside from the show. What's
the one story you haven't told others before that you could tell now?
Are the ones that make me laugh, the ones that people don't know happen. And just now somebody tagged me in a story on Instagram, but they recorded the moment, and it was when the tech people that are usually the ones that people don't see but are a huge part of the show. They were getting the furniture in, and then I don't know what happened, and they couldn't get out of the stage, so they were hiding. They were hiding behind this like skinny table, so of course everybody could see them in one of the most dramatic scenes. And I was just trying so hard not to laugh because I laugh so like easily. And I was like, oh my God, I cannot look that way because I'm gonna burst laughing. So that was one of them. Another one, Emilio had a booger. In another one, I slept on the bed in the hospital scene and they had to wake me up. Like, there are so many stories.
She was shy, loves to sing 0 to Hero, wants to play Ann Boleyn in 6. Gaby Albo from On Your Feet. Thanks for taking the time to talk with us today.
Thank you. It was one of the best interviews I've had. So much fun. Thank you so much.
And that, my friends, is Beyond the Mic. If you're enjoying these conversations, please check out another Beyond the Mic episode to find more actors, artists, and people you need to know. We'd also appreciate a like and subscribe on the Good Pods app.